The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
And welcome to this edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. We've got a great show for you today. This gentleman, I decided to dedicate a whole hour to this show because his photo stylings are amazing. He is definitely up there with my three favorite photographers here in Las Vegas. You got a chance to meet my first, which is Al Navarro. He was on one of my earlier shows. And on this show, I am very honored to have Noel Dahl on this show. If you don't know his name, you will know his name. And if you do know his name, then you know his work, and it is amazing. He has been doing photography in this town for years. He's had his photo stylings featured on several marquee banners up and down the strip, and we have him on the show today in the show today, and we're going to have him as one of our guests. So we're very happy about that and very happy to have him on the show. Who am I and what is this show? Well, I'm Locq Fortune, and this is Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe, and I cover all things cannabis, entertainment, and foodie related here in Las Vegas, as well as metaphysics and the spiritual occult community. I am the only psychic in Las Vegas that's licensed to go to the client for their special events. If you would like to have a psychic at your next event, and you already got your bartender and you got your DJ set up and you wanted to stand out, maybe you want a psychic to do tarot readings at your event, or palm readings, or just wander through the crowd and do readings that are what people call cold readings, then I do that as well. I'm also the author of the book Vibology. This book would interest you as long as you have a name. If you've got a name, then you'll be interested in this book, because this explains to you the numerical equation of your name and what it means, and what the names of other people means due to numerology, and what the numerical equations of their names are. So I'm the author of both of those books, and this is my show, Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe, and I do this show for your likes and for your shares. So if you like what you see on today's show, don't forget to give me a like, or if you really like it, don't forget to share with your friends and let them see it too. If you're a photography buff, you're not going to want to miss this show, because this gentleman will definitely inspire you. Anyway, that's it for this segment. In a few minutes, we'll be back with the photographic stylings of Mr. Noel Dahl.
Hey, this is Mingo from Mingo Kitchen and Lounge. Come downtown to my space, my restaurant, at 1017 South 1st Street in the Las Vegas Art District inside of Art Square. A couple of things we have going on is happy hour. That's from 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday, except for First Friday. Sorry about that. And we're actually going to feature a summer happy hour, which will be 3 to 7 p.m., which is June 1st now through August 31st. So we're actually extending it an hour. And so you can join us for that extra hour of cocktails, food, and fun. Tuesdays, we have Taco Tuesday. We're starting that June 20th, and that'll be $2 tacos. We're going to feature a special taco, and it'll be only $2 with the purchase of any alcoholic beverage. And Saturdays, you can see Locq in person and get a free complimentary reading at our Psychic Saturday brunch. And that's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And welcome back to this edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. I am very fortunate and very humbled to have a very special guest on this show. You might have noticed him around town. You might not have noticed him around town. Actually, you might have noticed many of his models and subjects around town, because this gentleman takes pictures that have been seen on the marquee of the Tropicana. He is very, very popular in gay society, so if you've picked up a Q magazine and you've looked on the cover, most likely it might be a Noel Dahl cover, and we have the actual photographer here in the studio today. So longtime friend of mine. I've known him for at least 3 or 4 years. Noel, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. We've been talking about doing this show for a long time.
Yes, we have been talking about since it very much first started. I was like, I want you on the show. I want you on the show, but you are so busy. And every time I turn around, you've got some project that you're working on that is just really great. I think you're just coming off the Ribbon of Life project. Is that the last big one that you just did?
Yeah. So I've been trying to get involved as much as I can with anything that is helping other people.
Yes.
So that way, I feel like my work it's going somewhere.
Yes.
It's not just like for myself. It's more like helping other people.
It's touching other people's lives. It's
Correct.
touching, right, exactly. And the thing I like about your I'm a very friendly guy, but once you get to know me, I'm also a little bit snotty. I'm a little bit snobbish and whatnot. I got that side. And since I was a kid, I was raised with cameras. A camera was kind of put into my hand and say, take pictures, because I was a family of 4, and so I was the picture taker. So for most of my life, you don't see me in most of the pictures because I'm the one taking them, right? And so I fell in love with photography, and then when I got the show, immediately 3 people came to mind. 3 people came to mind: yourself, Al Navarro, and Casey Jade. And you, there's something about each of your photography that I like. You is not just your capture of the male form that I really think is great, because you've got a lot of photographers out there. Let's face it, you got a lot of photographers out there that does the male form.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you're able to put the artistic spin on it, the way that you're able to make it more of a piece to look at than a piece to drool at, even though the subject is something to drool. I mean, the subject is definitely something to drool over. but you put him in a subject matter that makes you say,
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from? Where does that?
Since I was little, I think I got this feeling, like, for example, I remember a lot, every time I was looking at a magazine, I wouldn't read a magazine or the newspaper unless I see a really interesting picture.
Okay, right.
So,
that grabbed your attention.
Yeah, it had to get my attention for me to read it. Otherwise, I would just keep going and going and going. Another thing that I noticed too a lot is everywhere I was, either I was driving or I was looking at something, I was like, oh my God, I wish I can have my camera and have a picture, and I would be
that you could capture that moment.
A model in this scenario, and I was always really shy. I never have the body. I didn't feel like I can do it in front of the camera.
Right.
But I was like, okay, with my imagination, I can create this. And now that I
gotta give you guys. I gotta take a pause on this for a moment, because that just calls me back to when I first met Noel. When I first recall meeting Noel, I actually knew him before this, but when I first really actually formally meet you, it was at one of Mel Cole's events, and it was one off of Tropicana. It was one of Tropicana.
There was somewhere on the strip. In a bar, I think. No, it was a club or something.
It was a club or something. But this gentleman has a smile, but it's a genuinely shy smile that you can tell as soon as you see him that he's like, oh no, it's the cutest little, and I thought that was just great, I love that smile that you have, that it comes across, that genuineness when you say, yeah, I was too shy to do it before. It's like, yeah, you can tell he probably was. But.
Yeah, and a lot of the times when we are doing it behind the scenes and somebody's taking a video or something and they capture me laughing, because I'm always laughing.
Right.
Like, you can see the picture and you're like, oh my God, this guy looks so fine.
Right.
But like behind the scenes, you can tell that it's not just like looking at the guy. It's having so much fun, and everybody's laughing every time that we're doing a photo shoot.
Right.
So I think it helps a lot to the people that are doing the photo shoot with me or working with me to make these pictures happen. They're having a blast doing it.
Right. You know, that comes to another point that another thing that we share in common, actually, in regards to our business and our business practice, which was another thing that I liked because I would follow your Facebook posts and following your Facebook posts throughout the years and whatnot. One of the things that I like is that you keep it social and you keep it professional.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked that about you. I try to do the same thing too and whatnot. We do both speak our mind, though. We both had our moment when we will speak our mind. We don't hesitate to speak, but we still try to keep it, you know. So following your Facebook posts throughout the years, I really like that about you also, was your way of presenting yourself and your way of carrying yourself. And the thing about that is photography, and a lot of people don't understand, photography and fortune telling, there's a little bit of a similarity there in the fact that, number one, you're not going to get in it unless you really love doing it.
Yes.
All right? You're not going to become a photographer because you hate photography. All right? There's not one photographer that goes, you know, and it's going to be pretty much the same thing with people in my business. You know, we may get lambasted or whatever, but we do what we do because we love doing what we do.
Correct.
Second thing is, because we love doing what we do, for some bizarre reason, people expect us to do it for free.
Yeah, a lot.
Right, you know, and so I would notice that in my fellow photographers' posts, as well as my fellow, you know, psychics posts, that we would often have the same type of frustration where people are just like, yeah, you just need to do this because it's free and you like doing it anyway, so why don't you just do it for free? Excuse me, we have to eat. That's why.
That's
because we have,
side.
we have business, exactly.
But you know, I think the part of the business that we are in, it's kind of like we have to educate people.
Yes.
Like, another thing that I haven't mentioned in my social media, but I talk to people around me when they're telling me, you know, I'm gay. I'm gonna switch the subject a little bit. And they're having a hard time with their family coming out, especially now that it's coming out.
I imagine you get a lot of that because sometimes you're not just a photographer, but sometimes you end up being a therapist also because of your subjects.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And
send them to me.
We do.
It's what I do. I'm very good at that.
But so I tell them that it's not that we are having just a hard time coming out with our family, with your friends, but it's more like educate them, like you have the responsibility to show them. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you are gay, you know, to show the people around you that being gay is not bad,
and to set that example and to set the positive example and to show that no, we're not the degenerates, we're not this, we're not that, but we are human beings. We do have a right to eat, we do have a right to socialize with other people, and we do have a right to move about society. Correct. And so that's what we're trying to do, and that's what, you know, and that's a lot of what this show is trying to go towards talking to, because a large member of my audience, a large sector of my viewing audience is female and straight. And I might be the only gay friend that they have.
There you go.
You know? Sometimes I'm the only black friend that they have too. You know, and so it's about humanizing that side and letting people know about that side. Exactly. Because here we have a wonderful example of society. You've captured some amazing moments of society. Share with me some of your favorite highlights during your career here in Las Vegas. One of the favorite things that couple of favorite things that you did.
Ooh, I got a lot. I wouldn't know. Which
well, we can't. We only got an hour, but you know, let's take it to the top three. But
I don't know. I don't have like one. Well, yeah, I have a lot of stories. One of them that it touched my heart is that I did a photo shoot with a family, and I didn't know that they were going through a really hard time. So they were getting divorced. Actually, I didn't know.
Wow!
So they told me that they wanted to do a photo shoot because they wanted to have some memories when they were together.
Oh,
so it was a family basically.
That's
all set up for
a
divorce, and I did the pictures, and later I received a thank you card and I get a lot of thank you cards after the photo
Yeah,
shoots.
yeah.
And this one I keep it like my safe. I
Right.
keep it like really,
Right.
it's a really beautiful thank you card that they told me that after doing the photo shoot with me, the relationship changed.
Oh,
So
wow.
I didn't know, again, I didn't know that they
Right.
were getting divorced.
Right.
And I was
right.
like putting them together and like making like
Right,
body
very nice,
expression
very intimate
with-
positions and everything that lovers would have, or
And
be
they-
comfortable
yeah.
with taking pictures in because you're not knowing.
Yeah, I didn't
Right,
know. So,
right.
and they start kind of like probably remembering what it was,
Mm-hmm.
even like just faking it just for the pictures. But after the photo shoot, they changed,
Yeah.
and they decided to stay together. And not
Wow,
go into the divorce.
that is
So
awesome.
this one is like
yes,
giving me,
yeah, the
goosebumps and
goosebumps.
stuff.
That's awesome.
But
right.
like a lot of things like that, you know, like I didn't know. Thank God I didn't know, because
Right, because you
otherwise I
would
would
have
have
totally
like,
changed your way of doing it. You probably
like
would have,
just-
right.
Yeah, I would be like a little bit more conscious about it. But since I didn't know, I just did my job. And
That's
It's
another
a
point
turn
about
on
it.
thing.
I mean, for me, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for you. Do I enjoy the money or the financial part? Of course. Well, it gives me a living, it allows me to live in a certain way and everything like that. But the validation, that's the bread and butter.
right.
When you have a client that comes back to you and says, "Thank you so much," or "You've done this for me," or that they take time out of their lives later on, after you've provided the service, to actually come back and say, "Thank you for what you've
Thank you.
done."
Mhm.
That's what makes it.
that's
You know?
it. That's what makes you like keep going. you know, like,
Right.
keep doing it. I want
Right.
to keep doing this.
Right. Well,
So-
you also have somewhat of a reputation of being a little bit of an innovator, and which is another reason why I'm such a big fan of yours in regards to your photographic stylings. Share with me some stories. I understand we have one picture that was actually used by a Ribbon of Life that was kind of popular.
Yes. On this picture, I just had this idea a few years ago, and I've been playing a lot with Photoshop. You know, like I got the picture and I finished the photo shoot, and I just select one picture where I can play with.
Right.
So
So for those of you who are not familiar with Photoshop, which I am because I used to be a photographer, so that's cool. But Photoshop has a thing called layers, in which you can take several pictures and then layer them on top of each other and make them appear as one. So now what he's talking about is working with the layers in Photoshop, right?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
So I got two pictures, and when I explained the guy was like, "Yeah, I know what you're telling me, but I just don't get what are you trying to
Right.
do with
I
this
don't get the
picture."
concept, right,
So I was
right.
like, "Don't worry about it. Just let me do this, and then I'll show you after, and you can tell me like what do you think." So I did the pictures. I got the guy in a suit, like really formal, and I got it in the background, like the perfect. I think for me it was like the perfect background. So I got the guy standing there and just looking at the camera.
Well, I think a lot of us agreed it was a perfect background also, because that photo was all over Las Vegas during that time.
Yes, I got a lot of
it
people
got a
looking at
lot
that
of
one.
So I think a
But
lot
no,
of people
this was a little bit different. So this picture, I got the guy on the suit, and then I got the same guy. The same moment, I got him naked after.
Right.
And we put the two pictures together, and then with Photoshop, I just started scratching some part of the suit, and basically the skin came out.
Right,
on Photoshop.
right. So basically, you have the man in a tux, and then it looks like it's ripped, but
It
it's
looks like it's ripped. It was
but-
scratched.
right, but it's scratched, and so it's showing the bare chest of the upper
Correct.
body
And
of the
the abs
man,
and-
but with the outside of the suit.
Oh, the suit, correct.
Right.
So the final product was really, really, really cool. Something that nobody's seen before, or just maybe I
had never seen anything like it before. I thought it was really.
And that was like a few years ago, probably like 3 years ago, I believe. But then Ribbon of Life contacted me.
Oh, this is the one that I'm
this-
talking about. He's talking about something before, but yeah, this.
Yeah,
Okay,
this
right
one,
on.
they contacted me this year, I think, at the beginning of the year, and we were talking about doing the advertising for Ribbon of Life, and we were talking about it, and they told me the concept, which it was about being in the shows, in back in the days and what is the shows right now.
Kind of being in the closet of the show, being in the shows and being a performer, but also kind of having to be in the closet if you were gay.
Yeah,
At the same time.
That's another thing.
Right, and
But
that feeling.
the main thing was being in the show back in the 50s and
Right.
being in the shows now. So they wanted to mix these kind of pictures and not focusing on just the gays, but just
Right.
focusing more in before and after.
Okay, all right.
So they told me that they loved the picture that I did 3 years ago, and we were talking, okay, can we do something like that? And when I told them, yeah, we can use, instead of using the guy pretty much naked, we can use the guy how he was before with the hat and the tuxedo, and now how they're doing now in the shows, where like Chip and Dale.
Right.
The other ones, they're basically with no clothes on,
Right.
or just a little bit, and they like it.
Uh-huh.
So we ended up doing it, and we did the same thing with the girl, and we did it with the guy.
Right.
So that's we did the same concept.
And of course, I would only notice the one with the guy, but there was equal opportunity. I do now recall. Yes, there was a woman also. So
Yeah,
yes.
So that was the idea of doing this, and they really liked it. I saw the billboards all over town. And
Yes, Tropicana was one, I think.
Tropicana,
Right. Yeah.
But it was in a lot of billboards around town. So I was driving a couple of times, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's my."
I was
ad.
really so proud of you. I know a lot of our community
you.
was so proud when you put that photo up and shared it with us. It got a lot of likes. I put it on my Rainbow community page, which has over 13,000 members, and they loved it and whatnot. So we love the things that you're doing. What do you have coming up? What do you got? What are you working on?
I'm working in a few projects. Like I'm never stop.
Well, you know what? I'm going to stop it right there, as a matter of fact, because we're going to take a commercials, and we're going to talk about what the incredible Noel Dahl is up to next when we come right back after these messages.
All right.
Retrospects is a purveyor, if you will, of historical eyewear. Retrospects is located on the second floor, right across from the chandelier bar. So when you look at our store from the outside, it looks like there isn't much going on in here. And then you open the drawers. We actually carry authentic pieces from the late 1890s to the 1990s. We have almost 3,000 pieces in here. It's like a treasure trove reveal. We do have a collection of new glasses that we have reproduced ourselves. It's called the Cuthbert and Chen collection. The safe is our jewel. It's our baby. We love it. It's from 1903. It weighs as much as a car. It's solid steel. We use the safe to hold our most precious pieces, our museum collection, if you will. People come in to find glasses that are not something they're going to find everywhere else. Not something all their friends are wearing, and something that they can tell that story. We sell stories as much as we sell glasses. We have pieces that we can associate with very famous people from history, movies, special events that happened in the past. And some of the favorites are the Ray-Ban shooter that Johnny Depp wore in Fear and Loathing of Las Vegas, the beautiful frame France Parisian plastic aviator worn by Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. Retrospects is not just about glasses. It's about the experience. It's about how these glasses make you feel. We are a full-service optical shop, somewhere where guests can come to get repairs, restoration, can put their prescription in, can get them a quick pair of sunglasses for the pool, and can give them a really great, just fun experience.
And welcome back to Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. We are back in the house here with Noel Dahl. great photographer extraordinaire here in Las Vegas. Noel, before we begin, I do want to start this this segment off with, how do we get in contact with you if we would like to get maybe, first of all, what are you, like if I wanted to get a headshot or something like that, do you offer those type of services? And
Yes,
Okay.
we have a different type of services depending on what you need.
Okay.
Depending on, everybody's different, so you might need just one picture, you might need the whole portfolio, you might need pictures for your family, even if your family is just you and your
the dog,
dogs.
right.
So, we have different types
Me
of
and
families.
Chaz. Right.
Or you or your boyfriend and
Right.
dogs, or like whatever you have, like whatever you want to photograph, we can do it.
Okay.
Depending on what.
And then also, like, you said that you are going to be branching out, I think, into a different. So weddings
Yes,
is something that you're looking at now.
we are doing.
Well, you've always done.
Yeah,
weddings.
I've done weddings for a few years too.
Right.
But this time we are not separating the business, but opening a new branch.
Mhm.
I'm bringing more people with me, doing the same styles that I'm doing with guys. We're doing it with girls now.
Oh, okay. So this would be like almost a lesbian focus for lesbian weddings.
And not only for
Oh.
wedding, for lesbians, opening for women in general.
Just women in general. So friendships, whatever,
Right.
or modeling, or just
It
singing,
can
or
be
whatever.
a mom,
whatever,
it can
yeah.
be
mother daughter.
mother and daughter. It can be a guy and a girl. you name
Whatever it
So
is.
Whatever.
So you're opening up that branch where it's more unisexual rather than just.
than just guys.
Homosexual.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. And when can we look for that?
You can check it at noel.com
Mm-hmm.
or noelphotostudio.com.
NoelPhotostudio.com or Noel.com?
Noel Dahl, DAHL.com.
NoelDahl.com.
Yes.
And you're going to be branching out into this. How is this in just the beginning phases, or when will you be starting this?
We already started.
Okay.
So we with the website, it's I believe it should be ready this week.
Okay,
So if
great.
you-
So
if you can go and
another
check it
highlight that
out.
we got for you guys. It's something
It's
else.
out. We have a lot of different things that
I like getting you guys the scoops.
I wish I can tell, like I can tell you everything, but
I
some
know, because I hear some
images-
rumblings in the air.
Some
you got
images
some
you're gonna
very
be
famous vibes around you.
some images are gonna be like mind blowing.
hmm
We already did it. We already have them
Wow.
edited and just.
Well, you're going to
put 'em
have to
out.
come back on the show. I'm hoping sometime maybe in March or sometime next year, early next
Okay.
year, because I want to see what is going on and what has transpired between then and then. Because I feel there's going to be some pretty big things going on.
It's a big things that we have. The only things that we have to be ready, because sometimes you don't know with social media, it's like it can get a lot of bad. Now I'm not gonna say bad energy, but it's kind of like
A lot of negativity.
negativity.
Yes.
Like this shouldn't be online. This shouldn't. But
That's
it's
why I'm
all-
very,
it's all
very
good.
careful about what I share and what I don't share on social media. I do not treat social media like it's my friends. I treat social media like it's a high society cocktail party.
Yes, sometimes you have to be really careful with
Sometimes
what
you want to
do.
be cocktail, but sometimes you know what? Somebody keeps bumping into you with that drink and spilling a martini on you. You're going to have to say something about it.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to be really friendly. I'm trying not to like get in an argument or in a fight, because
Right.
honestly I don't have the time to
Right,
like
right.
go and respond back to the bad comments and stuff. I just like screenshot, save the comment, who did it,
Right.
delete the comment, and not blocking, but try not to have these kind of people around me or on my social media. I used to get a lot of pictures that they were reported, and
Right.
Facebook will take them down. Now I have the ability to contact Facebook and find out who did it, and
Good for you.
They will respond, because Facebook is doing business with us.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Facebook get paid from us. So one of the things like, okay, I did this by mistake, because you were telling me that these ones are not allowed on social media. So tell me what can I do, what I shouldn't be doing, or who shouldn't be on my social media.
Right.
And I'm not the type of person that goes and get in trouble or like argue with somebody just because you report a picture of me. If, like, you know what, if you have problem with my work, why don't you just go and look somewhere else? Don't look at my work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Scroll on.
that's
Just scroll on.
simple.
That's what I say. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. You know, scroll on. I see a lot of things in my news feed every day that either shock or offend me. And do you know what I do? I move
Unfollow.
on.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily unfollow the person because the person might, you know, I have the 3 strikes you're out rule. If you post something 3 times and I'm like, oh my God, I ain't gonna say nothing, but then I'll unfollow. But if you post something like once in a while, then I'm like, oh my, I just scroll right past it.
Yeah.
It's your
Sure.
page. You have a right to. It incidentally appeared on my news feed.
You
It wasn't
decide
your
what to do and
plan
what not
to
to.
offend me, you know, and I'm not going to take it that way.
But you know what? I understand. There's some things that it shouldn't be on social media.
Right.
Like yesterday, I think I was looking through social media and I saw that somebody posted a picture of somebody having a surgery and they have the face wide open.
Oh.
To me, it doesn't
Right.
really.
I
I
don't
work in
wanna
the
see
medical
that.
field
Right,
for
right.
15 years, so I work in ER and I have all this experience. But to me, I'm like, this shouldn't be in social media.
Right.
First of all, because there is a
Right.
patient in it.
Exactly.
Privacy, you know, it's up to the patient if he wants to post this on social media, but somebody else is doing it. So it's like, this shouldn't be in social
Don't
media.
expose people to that too.
But
yeah.
you know what? I didn't report or I didn't do anything. Just unfollow this person that is
Right.
doing this. And
Right.
it's like, this shouldn't be on social media, but it's up to them to decide what to do, you know.
Right, right.
So the same thing with my work. I'm like,
Well, that's why I respect, because you know I have a group page, Fellas of Fortune.
Yes.
Right, and so I respect that I don't post any of your stuff on there, because I've seen, you know, that sometimes you have your privacy settings and everything like that, and I respect your professionalism and everything like that. Not that I don't want to share it, it's just that sometimes, you know, and I try to respect that, and I let you see what I post and everything like that, and I think even that site, I think once in a while it reminded me that I got like 160 pictures reported, you
Yep.
know, it's like whatever, 106. I mean, you know, over 5 years though, that's not a big deal. 106 and whatnot, you know. And I think that all happened during the year that I was off Facebook, so I wasn't even monitoring it during
Yeah,
the time.
I have a big problem when they reported a lot of the pictures on my Facebook and they closed my Facebook account.
Right.
But then I decided to open my personal Facebook page and make it more like my open live, you know.
Right.
So I delete a lot of stuff that I don't want anybody to see about my family and some private stuff that is just for my family and me. And I decided to open it.
Mhm.
And once I opened it, my business became bigger, you know, like
Awesome.
a lot of people started like following more and engaging with me. And I think they liked it. And for the people that reported my Facebook page and they thought I was going to go out of business or they were going to hurt me or
Right,
hurt my business,
right.
they just did a big favor for me. So I'm like, I'm
Exactly.
thankful.
You turn a negative into a positive, and that's, you know, and that's what, you know, that's one of the things that you share with a lot of the people that are going to be on my show is all of you might have that training. You might be doing different things, but we're all survivors. We all, and we don't survive by revenge or negativity. We survive by taking a negative and turning it into a positive,
Correct.
and moving on and then moving on with our lives.
Correct.
You know, I also, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to look back. If you're a negative person, then that's fine. You're a negative person. I don't have to accept that in my energy, in my environment. And after I get you out of my environment, whatever you want to say about me, that's fine. I'll let my energy speak for itself. I don't have to defend myself against you. People will see how I act and how I react.
That's correct. That's a really good thing.
Well, Noel, it's wonderful having you on the show. I'd like to close it off with a little bit of a reading for you.
Okay.
This is based. This is not a psychic reading,
Okay.
but this is based on your name, and it's based on my book Vibology. And so things that I get from your name and that I think are germane with what you do, because I think it's very interesting. First of all, a little tidbit. This will be interesting to know. Is that my birth name is Leon.
Whoa, the same letters.
Right.
Backwards.
It's Noel spelled backwards.
Uh-huh.
Right. So a lot of things I've studied this grouping of letters particularly. So the N vibration is really what's going to force you to deal with people Okay, N is a 5 number, and that's the number of community. Okay, it's going to make you antsy. You can't stay at home for so long. You have to see what other people are doing or what's going on out there. Even if you find the perfect dream lover, okay, you can only be a homebody with that person and live that idyllic lifestyle for so long before you're like, I've got to go. You can't. You don't have to. You can come with me. That's wonderful, but you can't stop me. Okay, I have to go. That's what that N vibration is going to make. It makes that nervous energy that you get bored very easily. I need something to do. I need something to catch my eye. I need something to catch my attention. What's next? What's next? That's what that N.
Yeah, that's correct. It's actually really happening. My husband is always like, "Oh, I'm staying home." Like,
right, and you're like, "Fine." You're like, "That's fine."
Like, that's fine. You want to stay? I'm going.
Right, I'm going. You just cannot stop me from going. That's when we have an issue. You want to stay? That's fine. You want to come? That's fine. Just don't stop me from going when
Correct.
I gotta go.
And one of the things that he's always telling me, like when we are with my friends, I always have like people around me, and every time that we're talking about photo shoots or pictures.
Right.
And he sometimes is like, don't you get tired of talking about pictures and photo shoots? And it's like,
well, this brings me to the next interesting subject about your name. The next letter is an O. Okay? This actually is going to give you 3 different senses than the rest of us have. This is going to give you 3 heightened senses. A heightened sense of taste, touch, and smell. So although you're, interestingly enough, in an audio-visual career, you immediately know your favorite smell on a man or a woman. It has nothing to do with sexuality or sex. It's just that you know that smell, and they need to continue wearing that smell. Don't switch up. Don't change. Just wear that scent. I told you it works for you. Okay? You also tend to be a little bit of a daydreamer, okay? And so you could be in your own little world. Either you're thinking about your next photo shoot or I'm fantasizing about what. And it's like, Noel. Oh, what? Somebody touches you, then you're back. You're right back in the zone. But they could actually say your name a couple of times and you not hear them because sometimes you're in your own little world.
Always.
Okay?
Yes.
Right? Also, if I have bad news to give you, and I think that you're not going to like the news, and I think that it's going to upset you, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you to a restaurant, and I'm going to sit you down in front of a plate of food, and I'm not going to start talking until you've started eating. Because you'll agree with some of the craziest, most stressful stuff over a plate of food, because the food, the smell of the food, the taste of the food, it overwhelms you, okay? I will never bring you bad news on an empty stomach, because I will see a side of you I will never want to see again in my life. I will wait till you eat.
Oh my God. We know each other, but you don't know me that well.
Nope.
But I have a surgery actually a year and a half ago, and all this it was because when I get upset or I get emotional or I get stressed out, I can eat. Every time if I do it, I just get sick.
Right.
I will just throw up, or my body won't digest the food, and it will stay there without my body processing. I get sick, and I end up in the hospital a couple of times.
It's directly related to that O vibration and how that affects your eating and how that affects. So that makes you that makes you sensitive to your digestive and your digestive energies, and it's directly related to stress and how you deal with stress and how you manage stress. So therefore, making sure that you avoid food during stressful situations, but it's also a comforter. It can be a comforter for you, and knowing what your comfort foods are in regards to how you lower stress and how you manage stress. There are certain foods that you'll be able to rely on that you're like, this has been a really crappy day. Let me go to the refrigerator. Let me get this. This will bring down the stress level. This will make me feel better about life. This will make me feel better about myself.
Correct. I've been doing that for a long time because I know my body so well that I can heal any problem that I have with food.
Yes.
Unless it's like a major thing that I need surgery or I need in order for me to see a doctor, it has to be something big. Otherwise, I can take care of my body with just food.
Me also. I'm very big on holistic healing. That's what the show is all about and everything. I don't know if you've seen a couple of my shows or not, but I'm always talking about holistic healing and things like that. But these are things that O vibration will bring. Now we have the E and the L. Now, the reason I'm lumping these two together at first, before I separate them, is that this is very interesting also. Not a lot of people know this, but in regards to angelic revelations and in regards to the Bible, all of your angels' names, or the majority of your archangels' names, end with EL. Okay, so that's the sign of God placing a blessing on the name, and that's the sign of his being with that creation. So that allows you a certain amount of fortune, a certain amount of good luck, a certain amount of things in certain areas. But it also gives you a certain burden also. The burden is always going to be in the area of family. Okay? So family is always going to be something where you always will feel some type of a tie or obligation to, or having to be the Superman for, in order to come to save the rescue or be the one to come to save the day, because nobody else in the family can do so. Even when you might not even be in the best financial position to do so, you may find yourself being called upon to do these things often in your life because of this marking in your name. Okay, so you put those two together. Separately, you look at the E again. Boredom. It's a 5 vibration. Oh my gosh, you got the 5 and the N. You got the N and the E. Both of them are 5 vibrations. Okay, so first of all, love new stuff. You love new stuff. You don't know why you love it, but you love new stuff. Okay, this has nothing to do with your being a spoiled bitch at all. Okay, this has more to do with your wanting to be on the cutting edge. You're wanting to know what you could tell your friends. Oh my God, you need to get this because this is the bomb. Or oh my God, do not get this shit because this is the shittiest shit. I don't even know why anybody bothered in creating it or making it. You like being on the edge and being in the know. You want to be the one that informs everybody. You don't necessarily like being the one getting the information and being behind the curve. And so this is why you like that. Okay?
Yeah.
And you'll find that motivator. And in E together also, surprised that you don't travel more often, because wanderlust will be very, very powerful. You're probably, when you get to the pinnacle of your career, it'll be very hard to find you in Las Vegas, because you'll be deciding where in the world you want to shoot, what location in the world you want to shoot, and let's go there because I want to see. Not necessarily because you could do it there, and it has nothing to do with the expense or anything like that. It's because I will have the freedom to travel, and I want to travel, and I want to go see this. Okay?
Okay.
L, that's where the busybody comes in. Okay, this is where, I just need to know. I just want to know. I just want to know, and then I can, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? I got an opinion. I got an opinion. I want to give an opinion. Okay, I don't care if it has anything to do with me or not. I want to give you an opinion anyway. Okay, the L is what gets in there and mediates. Okay, and so it is the one that is the party that's in between. So he'll always find itself in between two forces that want to say, oh, be on my side, or oh, be on my side, and then he's the one that like tries to mitigate and use diplomacy to get the two sides to come together and see why they need to play nice with each other and keep them as a friend also. Okay, and so you'll it's the diplomat in you. It's the ability to bring to enjoy the fact that two opposing sides have one thing in common, and that's you.
It's true. I've seen that a lot. Wow, it looks like you really know me.
That's based on your name. This is based on your name as a vibration that you answer to and you respond to. And so numerology allows me to break that down into a numerical equation and say, okay, well, this is what this person is going to be like, and this is the traits that this person is going to display.
Wow.
So that's a little bit of a nutshell. Well, we never had a chance to do that, so I wanted to do that also for you.
Thank you. Because, I remember when I saw you with, when I was with Mel at his event, we were talking about it, and we were like, "Oh, but we don't have the time here to do it."
Yeah, we're both always so busy and doing things. So I had you from over here and everything. So great.
No, thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, Noel, I really would love to have you back on the show sometime again soon, or maybe March or April or something like that. I know you're really busy between then and everything, but I'd love to catch up with you again as soon as possible. Talk about what's going on. Okay.
Yes, and we'll talk more about the new projects.
Yes, I definitely want to talk to you about that. Very, very excited. Very, very happy for you and things going on in your career.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. And that's it for this segment of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe. We hope you tune in next week. We'll be right back with a few messages right after these commercials.
Crazy Terry here with your car care tip of the day. So it's not a bad idea every now and then to check your battery. If you don't know how to do it, have somebody check it for you. Just a visual inspection can tell you a lot about your battery. So as we can see here, this battery's got a hold down. It's nice and tight. The cables are on. They don't look bad. We've got a cover. We don't see any corrosion. Everything's kind of tight, looking good. A little bit of dirt, that's normal, but nothing's leaking, no real cause for alarm here. So that's a good sign. Doesn't mean it's good, but at least visually we know that it's intact. Okay, so we're looking at a battery here that shows signs of corrosion. We want to test that battery to make sure it's good. Usually when they're getting like this, there's going to be a problem, leaking some acid at the top. We ran the test and we find out it has 396 cold cranking amps, but the battery requires 650. So it's just not enough. The battery is going to go soon. Better to know now than later. Okay, so the benefits of checking the cable is because this cable's rotted out. What we'll find is this is the problem, not the battery. So it'll save you from buying a battery, still having the no start, only to find out that it's a cable. This type of corrosion is common in diesels. Okay, so we're getting ready to jump the car, but we have to have some battery cables. And we have to check those too before we hook them up to the battery. So here we have our standard set of battery cables. We just look them over, see if the ends are frayed, if everything's connected all right. Everything looks good here. Wouldn't hurt to check the rest of the cable just to make sure the dog didn't get it and chew it up. We have red and black. Red's positive, black's negative. You always want to hook the positive up first and then the negative. And I'll show you how that's done right now. Keep these off to the side so they're not touching each other. Hook up your positive. You can find that right here by the plus sign, the negative sign. Plus is positive, red. Make sure that's securely hooked up. Keeping these away from each other. Hook up your negative cable. Just got to fight it on there. Figure out a way to get it. Wiggle it a little bit so it ensures a good connection. Now you're transferring voltage. If I hit these two together, we're going to spark. Kind of want to avoid that. Won't kill you. Kind of fun. A lot of people think if they can turn the headlights on, the battery's fine. That's not always the case. It takes very little amperage to turn a light on, but it takes a lot of amperage to start the starter. I recommend checking the charging system every oil change. At Sun Valley Automotive, there's never a charge for that. This is Crazy Terry with your car care tip of the day.
And what a great show that was. Some incredible pictures from Mr. Noel Dahl. Thank you so much for being a guest on my show. Very happy that I decided to dedicate the hour. We had a great time talking. I love it when I'm able to get together with, my Vegas residents that have just lived here for a long time, and we can take a walk down memory lane and talk about some things. And Mr. Dahl is definitely one of those people. Really enjoyed this segment. Hope you enjoyed it too. If you did, don't forget to like, don't forget to share it with your friends, and don't forget to talk about it. And if you have some comments, then please leave them below. Remember, like I said, if you have anything that you would like to talk about, or maybe you'd like to be on the show, then don't forget to visit my fan page. That's Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe on Facebook, and like that, and leave me a comment and tell me your show idea, and maybe we'll have you as a guest on the show as well. Also, if you'd like to participate in any of our contests that we have, then you're also going to want to view our fan page for that as well to get up to date on any contest information or anything like that. We also have several different articles on the fan page that would be of interest to the regular business person here in the business community here in Las Vegas, as well as the entertainment community in Las Vegas. So, hey, what's not to like? Go to the fan page, like it. Don't forget to like this show, and don't forget to share it with your friends so they can see some of the amazing photographic work and visual stylings of Mr. Noel Dahl. And don't forget to join me back next week when we'll have another edition of Locq Fortune's Vegas Vibe.
Vibrations.